Warning, this episode review may contain spoilers, so here's a few tips that may help you. Number one, watch the episode first. Or, number two, watch the series first. Then come back to this review. It's your call. So, with all the warnings out of the way, let's get this video started. Hey you guys, what's up? It's Anime Blaze here, coming to you with another video, that is right. And in this particular video, I want to bring you guys an episode review of Hellgirl Season 1, Episode 26, The Ephemeral. And why this episode means a lot to me. This is one of the highest points of Hellgirl Season 1. And there are a lot of things that are pointed out to us that we did not previously know before. One, not in episode 26, but episode 25, we are told what Hellgirl's past actually is and how she pretty much got led up to the situation of being Hellgirl. You know, her past, her everything that pretty much happened to her is pretty tragic. You guys can go and watch that for yourself, episode 25. That was pretty tragic, just saying. And another thing I like about this episode was the fact of how if you haven't seen any other kind of stressing of morality or bending or any of that kind of stuff, if you haven't seen any of that stuff before, this hopefully will be the episode that stresses you guys the whole morality issue of pulling the string and ferrying somebody off to hell for a price. Another thing I like about it is this is one of the first times we've actually seen any kind of act of emotion out of Hellgirl besides just doing her job. The situation being, what happened with Hajime and Tsugumi pretty much evoked a lot of those emotions. And I mean, that's the main part I like about it. One of the main parts. So, with that being said, let's get started with this episode review. So, we're pretty much told that Hellgirl's past, she's being ferried off to hell because she tried to kill, what was his name? Hajime. She tried to kill him. Reason being, he is the, let me think, ancestor of Hellgirl's cousin. And pretty much what the god of hell tells her is, he's a spider. He tells her that, the past is pretty much better left buried. And that in a lot of cases, even in real life, is probably best. There's no sense in bringing up the past if it has nothing to do with the present. I can relate to that. But anyway, what Hellgirl tries to do to exact revenge on Hajime because of what his ancestor did was she knows that she can't act directly with Hajime, but instead she tries to find a way around that, but through Tsugumi. And if you guys are curious about this, you can go and watch it for yourself, episode 26. But we learned what happened to Tsugumi's mother through Hellgirl. Well, we've seen it other times in the series, but Hellgirl pretty much is the first person to tell Tsugumi what actually happened to her mother and how she died. Of course, the adults and everything will sugarcoat everything and tell Tsugumi, oh, well, your mother died of, certain circumstances and, all this other stuff, but they won't tell her directly what happened, especially Hajime, because he feels especially guilty and he feels like it's his fault about what happened. So what Hellgirl does is she tells Tsugumi what happens. No, she doesn't tell her. She shows her what happens. And then, this is the messed up part right here. This is the really messed up part. Hellgirl wants to send Hajime to hell. She hands Tsugumi the straw doll and tells her, if you really wish for this to happen, just pull the string, just do it. And to me, this is I mean, like I said, this is one of the main parts that we see Hell Girl actually show one of her true emotions. In this case, anger. Um, Anger and frustration, pent up emotions and revenge and everything. She wants to exact revenge. And as you've probably seen earlier on in the series, if you've seen Hell Girl, um, towards the end of the series, I think Sugumi thinks that what Hell Girl is doing is a good thing. And this is kind of the ironic part because in this kind of situation, Hellgirl doesn't exactly care what happens to Sugumi. She's like, you know what? Pull the string and send him a note because I want to exact my revenge. She doesn't care what happens to Sugumi. So that's the ironic part about it. It's messed up. The person that Sugumi was kind of in some way looking up to is the person who pretty much cares less about her, just wants to exact her own vengeance. That, to me, this is the highlight of the series, man. Hellgirl acting in her own on her own. We haven't seen anything like that before, and to me personally, if something like this were to happen in real life, I don't know what I would do because, quite honestly, it's pretty messed up what happens. Um, this is the end of the series, so I'm not going to give away what happens at the very end. But if you guys have seen it, then you can comment. Well, you can, talk about it. You guys know what happens at the end of. If you haven't seen it, then go and watch it because even though this episode review might contain spoilers and might even go over some of the main parts of the episode, I still want to leave it kind of open ended without revealing everything. So, yeah. With that being said, this is the Anime Blaze signing out saying, watch Hellgirl Season 1. Watch the entire Hellgirl series. Season 3 is okay. It's not the best out there. I mean, it's kind of bad, but it's still okay in my opinion. So, go out there, watch Hellgirl, and I'll catch you later in whatever may be happening that I decide to do. So, later.